Welcome back. Still on the political segment of the weekend show, we will be assessing the recently concluded the Osasu Show Symposium, which happened on Wednesday this week here in Abuja. I was there, and first of all, congrats Osasu. This is your third edition. I was there. There was no standing room, not even sitting room. Why? And this year's theme was the role of the 21st century women and her role in national development. Why did you focus on women this year?
Yes, Andy. Well, we were all there, all four people on the couch. And it's so funny because we all played different roles. Ina had the red carpet. Pam was in the audience just taking it all in. Andy was a man in the room filled with many women. Over 1,000 people were there, and mostly women, obviously. Then me as the convener. I mean, the event was truly a success, and most importantly, was very impactful because of the initiative we launched. We launched the Osasu Show Foundation's 21st Century Women and Girls Project 2020 to 2030, which focuses on 5 thematic areas: girl-child education, women in politics and leadership, maternal health, child marriage, and violence against women and girls. And this initiative is going to run the span of 1 decade. So for the next 10 years, we're going to be focused on driving policies and legislations to this area. So it was truly a success, and obviously women, we rule the world. So I said this year has to be focused on women, empowerment of young girls, and the feedback has been amazing. A young girl sent me a message that she didn't know her true value. She didn't know her true worth until she listened to both panels at the symposium, and now she's left inspired to do even more. I wonder, from your perspective, Andy, as a man seated in the room that day, how did you feel?
You know, I think it's, and I said this on the red carpet when Ina had an interview with me, I feel women are already doing so much, but how much of this attention are we putting on them? It's time to beam the spotlight on them. The Minister of Finance in Nigeria is a woman. The head of the Nigerian Post Authority, which has been doing exceedingly great, is a woman. And you see Pamela here, who is doing great stuff. And so it's a level playing ground, but the truth of the matter is that how much are we highlighting what women are doing? And so for me,
it's a level playing ground.
I do. It's meant
it
to
should
be.
be,
it
exactly.
Should be, because you ladies are putting in the same effort, if not even more, because you now need to step up to the plate. You now have more to prove. But it's the same markets which we're all going for. But what are we doing to highlight their achievements? And so for me, watching the all-women panel was mind-blowing. Listening to what I think there were about 7, 8 of them on that panel, listening to them talk about their experiences and what they were doing. It's mind-blowing when you buy some products. You don't care who is the CEO. You don't care who owns the company. You enjoy the product for what it is, but how much credit are we giving to these people? How are we making the marketplace enabled for more women to play in that space? So that was great for me. But I want to hear what Pamela, you came, you attended, and what was your own analysis of the symposium?
Absolutely. So that day made my heart sing big time. I'm huge on female empowerment. Everything I do is really centered around that, all my businesses. So being there that day and listening to the 11-year-old Sephora speak so confidently with herself, that was the number one thing. And then really hearing the panelists out, and also hearing all the government representatives really speaking loudly about what they're doing. You know, nobody was telling different things about, you know, regular political talk. You know, it was factual. A lot of it was backed up. It wasn't just, oh, we're going to do this. It's we are doing this, this, and this to implement these new strategies to make these things happen. And so, another thing that really fascinated me was how every single woman on those panels stood in their power so deeply that it was just intriguing. I was in the room and I was like, I live in the United States, but I want to be here, you know? This is so powerful. This is so beautiful. And each and every single one of them really exuded that confidence that women out there need to see and young ladies need to see, to say, okay, I want to be like her one day. You know, I need to have that confidence one day. Because I think the number one thing that really represses women from going out there and doing it, and I see this in entrepreneurship all the time, is fear and overthinking. You know, and each and every single one of these women, they exuded that confidence that shows like, we got this. you know, you got this. It's in you. I believe one of the women, and I cannot remember her name, but she said, a leader is a leader. Nor male nor female, a leader is a leader. And that's sort of rung in my mind so many times, and that is so true. That is so true. So I absolutely enjoyed it to the absolute fullest and really enjoyed everything. But the number one thing was that the women stood in their power, and that was the most powerful thing of the whole conference.
Ina, I know you've been part of this process from the beginning. Like, you worked hard, you weren't even feeling too well on the day, but you came looking all and you had conversations with people as they walked in. What was the resounding theme? What was it that struck a bell for you when you spoke to those people? I saw you interview Smart Money Arase amongst other people. What stood out for you?
I think it was how everyone, you know, just agreed with the fact that it was time to have a conversation like this. You know, everyone that I spoke with on the red carpet, they were very, very impressed. And, you know, the whole theme for this year's symposium, it was very welcoming. And it was like, why didn't we have this conversation like years back, you know? And everyone was also applauding and Osasu for thinking about it. And it was really refreshing, you know, to hear these women, because I have my own version of, you know, the 21st century woman that I aspire to be and I'm becoming. So also hearing this, you know, and I spoke with a lot of women, in as much as there were also men on the red carpet, but I liked how, you know, on that red carpet, knowledge was being transferred from one woman to another woman. So it was personally, I gained a lot even before the symposium started. And so when things like that happen, then you know that it's an authentic event, and you know that every other person coming in will definitely learn. Because I spent basically 2 minutes with these persons, and I was already taking something in. You know, I was already prepared for what the main event would be. And another thing that stood out for me, because I'm the red carpet, so I see a lot of people coming in, it was the variety of persons that came for this year's symposium. I was at the symposium last year on the red carpet. It was great, but this year there was something particularly different. Young people came. Young
Market
people
women.
wanted to join. Yes, market women, there were students, but young people came. Like, you know, when you talk about these things, a lot of young people want to be, we see the whole enthusiasm, we see the whole joy on social media, but young people turned out, young girls turned out because they knew, like, we've been saying it, this is the year of the woman, she's been saying it, and they came out and they said, yes, we agree with this narrative. Yes, we are the 21st century women. Yes, we are, you know, we are the future. We are the leaders. We can actually help this country, you know. So it was just refreshing. My own friends came, and the comments, you know, oh, you guys did so well. Oh, I did learn this. Oh, thank God I didn't go to work. I'm like, yes, I actually, a friend of mine actually said that to me, and I was like, okay. She was like, no, I took permission, but it was worth it, you know. So it was really, really refreshing. I spoke with a class 8 student from Stats Rights, and, you know, I asked her, I said, why did you feel the need to come today? She was like, it's good we learn now, you know. It's good for our adults to tell us these things now, so that, you know, it's not when because I'm growing up to be a woman, so it's good that, you know, my classmates and we came here so we can start learning these things from today, rather than, you know, there's no certain age, there's no specific age to actually learn these things in life. I feel like that, because when you train a woman, you know, you're developing a nation. You know, when you focus on the girl child, then you from an early age, then it makes the job easier. So telling little kids that you are important, it doesn't matter, you know, what society says. So it helps a long way. And I was really happy about it, that she knew. Class 8 student, she knew her worth, and she was very, very appreciative of the fact that she came that day. So I think that was it for me.
Osasu loves numbers, and so when we talk together, like, you know, we need to, is this statistically proven? What are the facts? And you're passionate about women in leadership positions, and with dismay, we noticed that the number of women in politics have reduced drastically, not because they've not tried to run, but they just haven't been given that chance. And so we have less than 10 women in lawmaking positions in this country. And I know this is something you're passionate about. So I want to hear what you have to say about this. And also, because I know this also influences most of your conversations with the foundation and with the symposium.
Yeah. So the key takeaway for me at the symposium was that the government officials that were in the room pledged to change this. So you had Honorable Nwaba, who completely blew my mind, from Imo State. I'm not quite sure what federal constituency, but he said, Osasu, I'm willing to work with you to pass legislation that would see to a more level playing field for women. I mean, that was mind-blowing. He told Lois, and this was such an inclusive symposium that we had people with different disabilities also participate in the panel. And he told Lois, I'm willing to repropose the disability bill to see that people like yourself also have an equal playing field. So we're not only focused on women, we're also focused with persons with disabilities. We're focused with the young population. As Ina said, so many young people were there. This dispels the rumor that our youth are lazy. We're not lazy. We're very hardworking and interested in conversation that would further foster national development. So to your question, yes, we need more women in government. We need more women in policy and lawmaking positions. And it doesn't happen by just talking about it. It happens by also walking the talk. And with the government officials in the room, the governor of Bayelsa State, the governor of Abia State, the governor of Imo State represented by Honorable Nwaba, the deputy governor of my state, Edo State, I don't know who else I'm missing, but I'm pretty sure the Denmark ambassador, the INEC chairman, the First Lady of Ekiti State. So they came and they pledged, you know, so it wasn't just a conversation, oh, we're here, this is what we're doing. No, they pledged, this is what we're going to do further to ensure that we open up the space for more women. So the impact is truly measurable. It wasn't just another talk shop. You know, we're going to follow up step by step to make sure that this 10 years initiative that we've launched so far is going to be fulfilled, you know, by 2030.
Let's not forget the keynote
Bolaji Abdullahi.
It even trended.
Oh my God.
It was something else.
Yes.
It was
and he said to me, he was like, Osasu, you're very brave for making a man give the keynote
Yeah,
at a women's event.
Yes,
and I said to him, I was like, do you know why I do this? Because when another woman is talking about the issues, it seems to us as just rhetoric. You know, we're just complaining. But when a man tells you, I'm the problem, and guess what? Here are the solutions. What are you going to do about it? You know, the entire room was awake and they were like, oh my gosh, this is really amazing. And Bolaji is a published author. He wrote Sweet 16. He has other books that he's published as well. And he's well versed in the gender issues that are plaguing Nigeria. I mean, the most glaring statistics was that Nigeria is worse than Afghanistan in terms of women's participation in politics. So when you hear statistics like that, then you know that we really need to wake up and, according to Hamza, give Nigeria back to our women.
Which is true. And for those of you at home, you can follow and join this conversation on social media. You can follow us at The Weekend Show NG on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And we also have a website, www.theweekendshow.ng.com. Osasu, great job. Really, really proud of you.
Thank you so much.
I'll let you close the show.
Okay.
Back to work.
Back to work. Okay. Helping us sign out today, well, we already know the multi-award winning artist in the studio with us. She's originally from Liberia, but she's signed to Dar Music Global here in Nigeria. She's making waves on the gospel scene. I'm personally inspired by her songs. They're very uplifting. As you know, on the weekend show, every Saturday, we're always giving you jams, some Christian music, back to back. You know, so it's actually riveting to see that today she's in the studio with us and she's singing live and just inspiring the world. So we hope you've been inspired by today's program. And without further delay, Canvi, take it away.